vibe, Jamie.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You know what else is a vibe?
What?
Power Yoga and Movement, who also happen to be today's sponsor.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Today's show is sponsored.
Hey, everybody!
Today's show is sponsored by Power Yoga and Movement,
the newest and largest hot yoga studio in the state. Their style is hot, athletic vinyasa, no ohms, lots of movement, and it's music-centric. It's based off of a decade of traveling and teaching at some of the best hot yoga studios in the world. They have infrared heating panels in their studio. Like, it's allergen-free, it doesn't blow air on you, it's all warmth like from the sun. There's not a cool spot on the floor, which is made of Fuji mats. I mean, this was designed by Heating Green, an industry leader in hot yoga solutions. They clean their studio, a deep clean with an OCD-like ferocity. What else they got? Instructors, 8 instructors, highly trained with diverse backgrounds. Their classes, they have 17 power-based and heated classes a week. Times vary from 6 a.m., 10 a.m., noon to 6 p.m., that's in the afternoon or evening, and 7:30 p.m. Me and Jamie went to the 6 p.m. Monday class, and we sweat just a little bit.
It was hot.
They also have shower facilities, so if you want to start your day off that way, you can always get cleaned up before you go to work, so super convenient, right? They don't have beginner classes because every class is geared towards your skill level. So you can make modifications. They take that into account. I'm a yoga newbie. They did the same thing for me. It was great. You do what you can do and you don't worry about it. Their rates, they really worry about keeping it affordable. So they have an $18 drop-in rate. All you need to have is $18 and a fear of commitment, and you can go to any class you want to. They also have a 10-class card for $140, and their best deal is monthly unlimited for just $80 a month. That's killer, man. Also, family unlimited for $100, and then a corporate plan for $150 a month. So if you want to see your coworkers sweat and stretch out, I mean, that's some bonding. We're closer because we did it.
Yeah.
This show is now so much better.
I think so.
You know? So you can bring a water bottle, a towel, a yoga mat, but they also sell all those things, and you can rent those things too. You can't rent water. I mean, I guess you can.
I don't know.
But they just sell it to you. So you can also follow them on Instagram at Power Yoga Pine Belt, Facebook at Hattiesburg Power Yoga. You can visit their website at poweryogaandmovement.com, or just shoot them a text at 601-329-0555. Go visit them. They're over by Winn-Dixie, right next to our neighbor dad's place. Signs First, right off the interstate, 4400 Hardy Street, Suite A16. All right.
Yeah, check them out. Power Yoga and Movement.
Man, this is exciting because this is a Hardy Street Boys first.
Yeah.
Our guest is actually sponsoring the episode as well.
It's wild, right?
So I think it's time to get to it. I really want to find out what you did last week. Man, I really like this week. Yoga. Power yoga and movement. Hot yoga. So hot yoga. I'm sweating just thinking about it. Ooh. So hot. So sweaty. So much sweat. Sweat. I'm cramping.
Why?
Oh, cramp.
Breathe. Take a sip of water.
The thirst is real.
Cool yourself down.
Hey, cool off, bro. Chill out, bro. Hey.
Hardy Street Boys, Hardy Street Boys, the Hardy Street Boys, the Hardy Street Boys, the Hardy Street Boys, Hardy Street Boys, Hardy Street Boys, it's the Hardy Street Boys.
Like and subscribe. Wait, you said you're getting hate?
I'm not getting hate,
What?
but I feel a dislike for the system.
in which we're living in. We're living in the state of Mississippi, where last year 70% of the voters in the state voted for a thing. Doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
The voice of the people was to vote for this thing, and it passed with 70%. But based on some sort of technicality, the Supreme Court of Mississippi was just like, yeah, well, the will of the voters doesn't really matter.
Right.
Your vote doesn't matter. Your voice doesn't matter.
That's one of those things, like, you have to have a very extreme worldview, I think, to go through with that. Very extreme. It's interesting, man. I don't really get that. How can you...
Yeah. I don't want to harp on it too much because it just brings me down. And hopefully the people of Mississippi will stand up for what's right, that our voices are heard, and that, things... Apparently, the people can only vote for people. So even, like, voting on the state flag apparently last year was possibly done, wrong.
Oh.
So this doesn't even just, this is just a whole thing for Mississippi. 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Well, we here at the show are still optimistic about the state, and
That's why we're here.
We're banking on people, trying to move forward just a little bit. Come on, the SIP.
Young
you
people,
can do it.
Young people in Mississippi probably would like to get out. And I think it's one of those things where we would like to keep young people here and be progressive and make strides, but it seems like some people just kind of don't want that. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, it's one of those, change is scary. The unknown is scary. And so for a lot of people, it's just easier to go back to what they already know, regardless of what those issues might be. It's kind of like the enemy you do know. Or whatever. It's like, I know how to handle this. I may not like the situation, but I know how to handle it. So I'm going to just stay stuck in my ways. But, dude, that's hard. I mean, I think we're all kind of challenged that way, too. That, there's things that we all need to improve about ourselves and update about ourselves. And that's hard to do. But, yeah, I hope the state kind of gets with it, man. And a mayor and 7 judges. That's kind of insane that 8 people overruled literally 100,000 times more people who voted for Initiative 65?
Yeah.
Over a technicality. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best of luck getting reelected, lady.
Anywho.
Stuff that we did.
Yeah.
What's most fresh on my mind was the SoPro 8th birthday.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
SoPro.
It was...
they were bumping, man.
Bro, it was so many people. And then the CDC said this week, too, like, hey, if you're vaxxed, no mask. So I was just walking around, no mask. I didn't even put one in my pocket. I was like, dude, just no mask. It was packed. I've never been so excited to wait in line for a drink. I wanted somebody to spill a drink on me just because, like, we're just crowded. Well, that was... That's a whole different thing. Incidental spill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
So it was man, it was so cool just getting to be around so many people. I just kind of, seeing strangers is fun.
Yeah, we were there early and Ryan and Jesse were playing. So that was a fun thing. They're amazing,
They sound great.
Young, talented folks here in the Berg.
Yeah. And then I actually listened to Quinn and Jaime played later in the afternoon, and man, that was a soundscape.
Oh yeah,
it was great. They sounded great. Just drums and keys.
Yeah,
it's like, I feel like it's a risky venture. Like that idea is like, man, you want to have more people just to kind of feel secure, but man, they really know what to do, man. And Quinn has that little pad too. It's not an octapad, but it's something like that. It's an electric drum set just on a pad like this, so you can do these electronic beats and stuff. It sounds really cool. It's very like he's a DJ and a drummer.
Oh, yeah.
And I need to get one of those pads.
He's dating a DJ of some sort. He's dating our art center neighbor.
Becky Boo Boo Baby.
Becky Boo Boo Baby, a.k.a. Double DJ.
That's her. Oh.
Yeah.
I just figured out what that name means.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, just now. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty smart. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, and then she played a set later, too. She played inside. After Quinn and and
How
Jaime.
awesome.
Man, it was really cool to see all the releases they had. They had a bunch of the cakewalks.
Yeah.
I
I got to try one of those with the hazelnut.
Yeah.
It was very rich and very tasty.
Yeah. I like the Rye for an Eye. It's a barley wine ale. That was really good. Dude, lately though, I've really been jamming on SoPro Light.
Yeah.
The light stuff. Yeah, I'm just kind of a light beer guy right now.
got you.
You know?
I had that double fluff. I like a little sweetness, a little tartness.
Yeah.
I like that stuff.
It's great. Well, it's great to see it's great to see them. I mean, we talk about going to the brewery pretty much every weekend, but
At least you do. So.
yeah, fine, whatever. I'm not. Whatever.
kidding.
I hang out at cool places.
Yeah.
At me, bro.
You ask me to go, and I'm always pretty much down. So.
Yeah, it's it's just a cool vibe. The renovations they've done to the tap room in recent years, I think it's the coolest space in town right now.
I was actually reminiscing yesterday. We were talking about 8-year anniversary, and we were talking about where were we, you know, when they first started. We were Friday afternoons on the loading dock, and how it started with the little tours, and you'd have like little wooden tokens, or you'd have all these funny little SoPro bucks of how you would get your samples for that Friday afternoon. And man, they have come a long way.
It gives you hope too for like how far you can take your own ventures, you know, and yeah, it's really inspiring to see. It's really cool. I enjoyed that. What did we get into Friday? We both had shows.
We did.
I had
your drum thing.
The little guys started. We had we had ages 6 to 17 represented in our little Sacred Heart Little. It was actually pretty big.
I was gonna say
It was-
This thing lasted a while.
Dude, we had 40 something drummers.
That's awesome, man.
It was intense.
I got to come by, and I just drove by slowly and got to reel down the window and listen for a little bit. So it seemed like there was a good crowd out there.
It was good. We do need to actually. I talked to Brian McClellan of CNN Music and Brewskis. He was like, "Man, you need to let me know in advance next time, and we'll get a proper stage, like with covering." Because the only thing was we were in the sunlight, you know, and just trying to find shade was a challenge at first. But yeah, I think we're gonna like start doing. We called it grooving on the grounds. I think we're gonna start doing that fairly semi-regularly.
That's awesome.
You know, we don't want to harsh on Live at Five's mellow, so it would be when they're out of season. That's part of why we did it too, is that there wasn't a Live at Five happening, so we don't want to take away from that. But it was kind of like Sacred Heart's own little Live at Five, and it's pretty cool that they let us do that. And then the boss man, Mr. Brackett, was like, "Yeah, we could level up. We could do some more with this. So stay tuned for that. Grooving on the Grounds. Proof of concept. We did it, and the kids sounded great.
Yeah.
Especially, actually, our production assistant Tanner played
That's awesome.
this song, Red Guitar, Purple Haze. He sounded good, man. It was funny too. They all got to choose their songs, and I would not have called that. He chose that song. I was like, okay,
All right.
this is cool. I wouldn't have called it. You know,
That's so cool.
You really learn a lot get to somebody when they
get to choose their music. Or?
Yeah, when you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's why it's fun. I think that's why it's fun to, you talk to, like, guys at T-Bones, like Mick or Hal. You start talking about what you really care about. You know, the music really gives you, like, a window into somebody's personality.
Yeah.
So how was your show? You played at 325th Street in Laurel. How was that with the return of Battle Cat?
It was awesome. We got to play outside on that new stage they put back there with the awesome lighting and awesome sound system, and it was so much fun. I had some friends who came up for the show, and it kind of, in a weird sense, they've got this gravel, they've got the chairs set up. It's kind of reminiscent of the old Thirsty Hippo a little bit. You kind of back behind the building. It's kind of, a little gravel and table and some music. It's very cool.
That's awesome.
It's 320s inside. It's a little bar. It's not the biggest space, but with that backyard, it really opens the place up. And it's so cool with the cafe lighting and everything. So
that's cool.
Very cool. And we had a good time.
I still haven't been there. That's great. The venue is that nice. I've heard only good things.
Yeah.
What was the performance like? What was it like being back with Scott?
It was great. We're a little rusty together, but a lot of it's like, just getting back with your buddy and just and having fun. And that was mainly what we were up to. We were just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet, man.
A lot of improv, so.
I hate that I missed it. That was one of those, like, because y'all started, I think, you said you're going to start around 8:39.
Yeah, we start around 9.
And I was like, man, I bet I could get there.
Yeah,
and then,
but I'm sure your day, I mean, Fridays are like that. If you've had a long Friday, you know, Fridays can be like that.
I wasn't done putting gear up till like 10.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is,
And we played till like, we only played till like around 11. So,
okay.
you know.
Yeah, that was the only. Yeah, I wish if I could have gotten an earlier start, I definitely would have come and checked it out.
Yeah.
But,
again, Fridays are funny like that. You know, you go to work early in the morning, and then if you have something going on in the afternoon, next thing you know, it gets nighttime, and 9:30, 10 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, oh, man, I'm fading.
right.
You know.
Dude, I said that a couple weeks ago. I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna rage on a Friday ever again. Like I don't like Saturday, sure.
Yeah.
But even Saturday, like going to the SoPro thing, like I worked out at Versus. They have free workouts on Saturday mornings, so I went and worked out with my buddy Michael, soccer player, whatever. But that workout was great, but I should have slept in if I wanted to. You know, if you want to go late night, once live music really comes back full force, there's like some adjustments I'm gonna have to make to my. I'm still kind of on pandemic schedule.
Well, I'll just tell you, I feel like my age is showing when, if I have a show that night and I've been working all day, like in order for me to prepare myself and be fully ready and energetic, I have to go home and take a little power nap. I literally had to go home, take a nice little 30 to 45-minute nap and rest and prepare myself.
Love a nap. You got to do, Mythbusters did that actually. The crab fishermen take 20-minute naps because if you don't sleep more than 20 minutes, it won't make you groggy, but you can reset that way. So yeah, love a nap.
Yeah.
We're very pro naps on this show.
Yeah, all for it. Love a nap.
And I'm not afraid who knows it either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
That won't be a shirt. No anti-nap T-shirt coming out anytime soon.
Pro nap. Very pro nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that was pretty much it. I'm really excited about this weekend. Live at 5 makeup date with Royal Horses is going to be awesome.
Yes.
And then you talking about going out and trying to rally the next day.
Very next day.
Downtown Crawfish Jam.
Crawfish Jam.
And I'm super excited about just hanging out.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm excited.
We might film some stuff there. We had originally, or me in my head, I was thinking, what if we did an episode there? But I think it's going to be better to just enjoy. I want to enjoy it. I want to see everybody. I want to socialize.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to. I've scared some people with that phone gimbal contraption. Yeah. We did like. I don't want that reaction. So we might get some video there of us, but we're not trying to get you caught doing something on camera.
Yeah.
It's amazing some of the looks you get when you have that thing. It's just your phone on a stick, but there's people who are like, "What?
Am I on television? I'm gonna be on television."
Like, no, dude, it's me. It's us. You know us. We're not trying to get you.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable, but dude, it's gonna be so much fun. There's so many bands playing, and Brittany Vassar. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Brittany Vassar Purvis Brittany Purvis Vassar. Yeah. Wow.
Correct.
I did very poorly.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. Sorry, you guys. She's the MC, so it's gonna be. It doesn't matter if there's a band playing or not. You are going to be entertained.
True.
So, and you can still buy your tickets, I believe.
Yes.
At the link in the description.
I was going to say that. The link's in the description.
Sorry. Go ahead.
The link's in the description.
Okay. See, nailed it. First try. But yeah, it's going to be so much fun.
Get your tickets.
I really cannot wait. I know downtown, Hattiesburg, Homestead, Dirtworks, Hub City Construction.
Yeah.
These people have really made sure Signs First.
Of course.
They have really put in a lot of effort
in
to
the
make
Downtown
this happen.
Historic Neighborhood Association.
Yes, the HHNA, right?
Yeah.
Nailed that too. DHNA.
Hattiesburg Historic Neighborhood Association.
You know my favorite thing about the show is how prepared we are.
Yes. We study.
Yep.
All the tapes.
Hattiesburg to the top. Love it. But yeah, so now we got Daniel Wise, Power Yoga and Movement.
Yes.
And Emmalee Bolton.
Yeah.
I want to talk to him. I want to discuss our hot yoga experience.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. I got to go twice.
Yeah, and you won. You beat me.
Yeah, apparently yoga's a competition now, and I'm the winner.
Everything's a competition. If people say it's not, they're lying.
Well, you know.
That's how I feel anyway. Is that healthy? Don't worry about it. We're not going to analyze it. All right. After this, Daniel Wise and Emmalee Bolton of Hattiesburg Power Yoga and Movement. Hey, Jamie.
What's up?
I feel kind of down.
This isn't that cryptocurrency FOMO, is it?
No, I've moved on from that. I mean,
I've been kind of in a funk lately too, man.
I just wish there was something that would fix it.
Yeah. Only there was some way.
Some kind of product.
Yeah. Some sort of thing that I could purchase.
If I could just be a consumer, that would make all the bad feelings go away.
If only I could take out my wallet and my credit card and then type some numbers into my computer, this funk that I'm in would just fizzle away. Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Dude, I feel so much better.
Me too! I feel amazing!
I mean, it's that HardyStreetBoys.com.
Is it?
It's magic.
Oh, I see it now!
Make sure you visit theHardyStreetBoys.com for exclusive merchandise. We have long sleeve tees, we have tank tops, we have regular tees, we have hats, we have, what else?
Coffee mugs.
Coffee mugs, dog hoodies,
Water bottles.
crop hoodies, flip-floppies, beach towels, posters, like super cheap. They're like $4 posters if you want one.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we like it just because we wanted to have a shirt of our face.
Yes.
And
this is the first time I've ever had my face on a shirt.
Can you make the face? Make sure you visit theHardyStreetBoys.com. It also has all of our links, YouTube, well, you're already here.
Yeah.
But Spotify, all that stuff. So.
Yeah, check them out.
And for those of you who are just listening to this commercial, it probably didn't hit, so that's fine.
All right.
All right.
We had shirts on, and now we have different shirts on because we have merch.
It's an amazing concept.
I just wanted to tell the people who are actually just listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
To fill them in on the whole situation.
All right, we're here with Daniel Wise, Emmalee Bolton. How are you guys?
Thanks for coming on the show, y'all.
Yeah, thanks
Great.
for having us.
It's good to be here.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
We had a thermostat issue in our studio, so we don't have a hot yoga room, but it is a little balmy in here. So we figured you guys could handle it, though.
we can
Yeah,
handle that.
I think so.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
So we got to do your class on Monday, the 6 p.m. class. We mentioned earlier that you have classes throughout the day, but what got you into hot yoga? What got you into yoga in the first place, and what got you into hot yoga specifically?
Well, I got into yoga when I had some like really bad low back problems years ago, and really didn't want to go down the whole surgery route, which is what they were recommending. Because everyone I knew that had surgery, it didn't really work out that well, especially like, getting surgery when you're 30 or something, like, and then you have another one, 35. And so I really kind of just was like, well, what can I do? And I was looking around on probably Yahoo, because I don't think Google was very important then, and found just some yoga stuff. So I ordered some DVDs and I started practicing at home. And eventually I was kind of like, it was helping. But I was like, I knew just from, doing other things like martial arts, during my life, that if you learn from a person, like a lot better than watching a video, because they can help you out. So I looked around, found a teacher, Jim Soanes. He was in Picayune, and he had a Saturday morning class that was like 8 a.m. Saturday morning. And let me tell you how well attended that class was.
Right.
It was usually me, which was really awesome because I got like a personal class for a couple of years, and it really helped, And hot yoga, I think my first experience was there was Hattiesburg Hot Yoga and More, like way out in West Hattiesburg. Whitney Miracle used to run that, and a lady named Nadine Lipa had a hot yoga class, but not in a studio, that I used to go to. And then Whitney opened that place, and I really enjoyed it. And the heat really, for me, just because of years of like lifting weights and like, back's tight and shoulders tight, opens everything up a lot faster. Like I can really move around, and I feel a lot better. At least, so that's my kind of how I got into yoga. And then anytime we travel, I would always look for like a hot yoga studio. It's some of my favorite classes and instructors have been that type of environment.
Yeah. I thought I think yoga itself is very challenging. Somebody who's always been very tight, and all my injuries have been overuse injuries and lack of range of motion injuries. It's already difficult enough, but then the hot yoga is one of those, like, mentally, when we were doing that class, mentally that was the biggest challenge. Physically, I didn't feel like, because I'm modified, I didn't do the full poses or anything, just because, you know, you don't have a beginner class. Like, you just work to what you can do. So for me, mentally, I had a really, like, it wasn't a hard time. It was just like, I just didn't expect how much I was in my head. Is that something that a lot of people who take your class report? I mean, is that common, or am I special?
What do you think?
I think you are special. I don't think that in a good way. No, I think people are like, it's a win if they complete the class, you know. But I thought it was so funny when we ran into you in the gym and you said, I went to yoga once and I tried to out yoga every single person, and we were like, yeah, that's not what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
but yeah, it is. It's you do what you can, and I'm sure it does mess with people mentally.
Well, me and Jamie were joking because he did it twice. I only did it once, and I had to leave the room. I started cramping. I just had a Charlie horse, and I ran out of water. And I have like a 1.6 liter Nalgene, and I went through all of it in about 20 minutes. So for me, next time, knowing I'm going to bring more water, but then also try and eat like a banana probably beforehand would probably be a
hydrate during the day.
Yeah, would be a good idea. Well, and I thought I did, but it's one of those things too. It's a new activity. Like, you have to learn how to manage how your body's going to respond to it. But yeah, Jamie, we were joking, like, he won because he didn't leave the room, but right, because everything's a competition.
Right.
Jamie,
he won yoga.
I won yoga.
You won
Yes.
yoga, yeah.
So yoga champion.
I told some people, and they seemed pretty offended that I would turn it. This isn't a competition. I said, hey, I'm joking.
Yeah, but we are joking, but I do feel like a lot of people go into a class thinking, oh, I'm gonna. It's the ego. Everybody's got an ego, so it gets the better of you. What would you say to people who maybe feel like they're used to lifting weights and they want to lift the heaviest weight? What would you say to somebody who's like, I don't know if I could chill out enough to be in a yoga class? What would be your advice?
Well, what we're doing is going to be very challenging. And either it's going to be the heat, it's going to be the humidity, it could be the poses. I mean, I don't consider them. There's some challenging things. You know, everybody has limits. But I say this a lot of times before or after class, that every person in the room is going to have that moment of, you know, like, what am I doing here? This is insane. How are these people? And then you look around and there's like everybody's around you still doing it, you know, so you're like, you don't want to quit because they're not quitting. I mean, you can always rest. I mean, we always offer ways you can have a break. But then when you finish that situation and everybody went through that same mental kind of like disaster, you know, like, I can't take this, I got to leave, and what's going on? And then you finish, and it's almost like you've built this like camaraderie with the other people, like you've finished something together. It's like group suffering, you know, but in a not in a negative way, because we don't have as much, you know, like, we live in pretty like nerfed up times, you know, like when I leave here, like, a wolf is not going to like take me out in the street,
Right.
you know, so we're always kind of like, we don't have as a society those trials and tribulations that kind of bring us together. So a good like hot yoga class like replicates that, you know, in a way, because everybody's like, oh, we all finished this together, like we did it, you know. So it, like, people that hardly know each other, like, everybody's very friendly after a hot yoga class.
Yeah,
I feel like. You know?
Well, after this class, someone, so everybody kind of hangs out. You're in that corner right next to Science First, in between Science First and Play It Again Sports by Winn-Dixie, right off the interstate, and everybody kind of hangs out and just cools off outside, which is crazy that Mississippi weather is cool, like cold almost when you step out. But it's a cool hang. But there was a young woman who dropped her keys down a grate. That's like how
into the drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like you somehow put a bunch of mops together or something, and then
With some duct tape.
and duct tape and hooked it out. Like it was just one of and then like everyone's cheering, and I was like, this is. Did they plan this? Because they know that this is gonna be on. We're gonna be on the show. Because it was like, man, everybody's cheering you on, and it was just, yeah, man. There's a lot of camaraderie, and I think that's what people are looking for, not necessarily in a fitness capacity, just in life. So then, if you also have a positive thing associated with that camaraderie, you know, that's like that's a very valuable thing.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure.
What would you say? I guess, what would you say to people who are beginners, you know, that might, I know you don't have a beginner class because you can make modifications, but let's just say I feel really nervous about joining a yoga class. How would you convince me to start doing yoga or hot yoga specifically?
What would you tell someone?
That they could start with a smaller, like warm class, to at least, unless they're just ready to go into like the hot class. But people have a fear of, everyone thinks like being in the front row. They're like, I don't want to be in the front row. I'm a beginner. I'm new. I want to be in the back, you know. So being in a smaller class where maybe there's a little, you know, more teacher attention. But we encourage beginners to come to any class. There's no class you can't come to.
What's the difference between a warm and a hot class?
10 degrees. So 95 is warm and 105 is the hot.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple non-heated as well.
Okay.
But I would say, I mean, I've heard that a lot. Same as like, you know, I've practiced jiu-jitsu for like 12 years. And people will say, I'm going to start jiu-jitsu when I lose weight. And so it's like, well, you know, you could actually start jiu-jitsu and lose weight. Like, they don't have to be separate.
Right.
Same thing, like somebody will say, well, I've heard this, I'm not flexible enough to do yoga. Like, that's a legitimate excuse that people use. And I was like, so you do realize that by doing the activity, you get the result, flexibility, or maybe increased. I like mobility a little bit better because I think people focusing on just being flexible can be a dangerous thing, you know, because people can be overly flexible and they can injure themselves. So like being safe in your joints and movements and stuff is more, that's what we kind of like lean toward. We don't have, you know, people may see some kind of like yoga on Instagram and it's people standing on a mountain and they've got their leg wrapped around their head and there's the sun going down in the ocean and it's very beautiful and unattainable. And that's why people don't come, because they think we're doing that. But we're really just kind of sweating and trying to breathe for an hour and not leave the room, you know, which is essentially what you're doing. And the rest of it is we're just throwing that on top of it as well. But, you know, if somebody was like, I absolutely don't want to do it, they could get a private class. You know, we offer that. I teach them. Some of the other instructors do as well. Once a year, I usually do like a men's beginner series. I've done that, and there's a lot of local guys that have done that. Because I think even guys have a little bit more trepidation about like stepping into that world because you feel like you can't win it, right?
Right.
You know,
100%.
Right. So,
well, the fact that it's not competition based is kind of hard to wrap your brain around. Like my monkey brain wants to go like, oh, but I won, or what can I? Just focusing on your breath and just not leaving the room is an incredibly simple concept, and I think sometimes it's too simple, and that probably might be what pushes people away. However, as somebody who's been hyper competitive forever, I really enjoyed, my favorite part was actually the breath stuff, which is what I need to work on the most. But the holding the breath thing at the end, to see if you can hold your breath, is like, oh, no, I'm not going to break. Like, I'm so tired. I cramped up earlier. I'm like really going through it, and it's at the very end. I was like, there's no way I'm letting go of my breath. And so I won that. But then you start kind of realizing it was not against anyone else. It was just myself. And it's that small voice, that nerfed up voice that's going, oh, you need relief. Nope, stop. You need relief. It's like, is that something, where did you learn that breathing technique? And when did you start doing that? Because I really dug that.
well, that's that in that particular sequence that we did in that class that you were in. That's like the traditional hot yoga sequence. It's 26 postures. that breathing exercise is at the end of all those classes as well. So that's a little bit of like, it's almost like, easy way to explain is like a hyperventilation and then a retention, like, but you have all the air pushed out. So it's a very hollow, like kind of body retention. And you're feeling like I have to breathe. And that's actually just kind of like, it's carbon dioxide that's making you feel that way. It's not, you're not actually running out of air, and no one's going to pass out doing that, So it is difficult to do that. And there's a lot of other breathing exercises that we, can explore and start to. Some of those I wouldn't say advanced, but they're a little more. So when you add that to movement, it adds another layer. So there's all these different layers that can go on during a practice like that. I trained a couple of years ago in the Wim Hof breathing method, where you get into, we actually learned it, laying down, but then you get into like 34-degree water and do it. So like your body's, seizing up from the cold, and you have to be like, I have to keep, to relax into that. So I'm a big fan of different, pranayama, they would call it, in the yoga world, but it's just different ways of controlling how you breathe. But
do you guys find that improves? Like, I like to run. I would think if I worked on that over a long period of time, does that improve your cardiovascular strength?
You're supposed to try to breathe through the nose when you run too, but we're like mouth breathers. It's hard. You can do it for like 10 seconds and then you start. But if you could start through the nose, that's a lot of how the breath goes, in through the nose and out through.
I would say that just learning to breathe in the way that we do and that we teach, it's been extremely valuable in like jiu-jitsu, when somebody's like on top of you and they're smashing your belly down and you can still breathe.
Yeah.
I did judo for a couple of years as well. Very, very, very useful to be able to continue to breathe, to get enough in. In running, anything like that, it would definitely, upping your breath game is going to help all of your activity. I would say.
And I would imagine stress and anxiety as well.
For sure.
It's a huge, and that's why I bring up the mental aspect, that it was challenging mentally, but afterwards there was such a relief. I feel like if you don't push yourself mentally, that's when I personally get the most anxious or most down, if I don't actually have something to shoot towards or anything. That was something I found after the class, was like, man, I've just felt really relaxed,
So the term, like the scientific term, is called hormetic stressor. So it's something that pushes your body or your systems in your body to a point where it's almost breaking down, or like to the very edge, but you come out of it and then your body like expands a little bit, so you get a little bit stronger. So that's what like heat exposure does. So that's one of the things you may have heard of, like heat shock proteins. So sauna use can do that. We're essentially in a sauna in that class, cold exposure, cold shock proteins. So the same thing. It's there's a lot of like kind of like new research that's coming out about how those are anti-inflammatory. So almost you wouldn't think that being in heat would be an anti-inflammatory practice, but it is, So yeah, what you're saying is like, it's a little bit of like you're expanding your threshold every time, and then you're just you have that much more range. So if you were running, or you were playing tennis, or you were whatever it is you're doing, all of a sudden you tap into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which is pretty useful.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome. All right, we have now the Whisper Challenge. Seamless transition.
Whisper challenge.
Here we go. Jamie's going to give some words to
sure
Daniel in 3, 2, 1.
Bikram. Bikram. Bikram.
Burpees.
Bikram.
Bikram. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Hold on, give me a second. I'll find my little. I have to edit this too.
Every
Sorry,
episode.
Drew. I wasn't ready. Hold on. It's almost there.
I'm leaving this in.
Oh. Okay. All right. Subaru. Subaru. Subaru.
Cheerios.
Subaru.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Child's pose. Child's pose. Child's pose.
Tadpoles.
Yeah. Somehow.
Hot yoga. Hot yoga.
You don't have to yell.
Aloha.
Oh my gosh.
What else?
Coconut water.
Coconut water.
Cold towel.
Oh, that's good though.
Coconut water.
Oh, I don't know.
Coconut water. Coconut water.
Cold lavender towels.
Kombucha. Kombucha. Kombucha.
Looks like tapioca. But
It's close enough. All right, one more word. Power yoga and
power,
movement.
yoga, and movement.
Good job. Good job. All right, Emmalee's turn.
Oh no.
Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Stretching. Stretching.
Trash can.
Competitive. Competitive.
Competitive.
Nice. Well done. Yoga champion. Yoga champion.
Champagne.
Well, yes, somehow. Charlie horse. Charlie horse.
Charlie horse.
Oh wow, she's good at this. What else we got? What else?
She's a liquor rep, right? She did something like
Whiskey. Whiskey. Whiskey.
Horsey.
Yes, somehow. Fuji mat. Fuji mat.
Fuji mat.
Wow, that's pretty good. Was it heated green? Is the
Heating green. Yeah.
heating green? Heating green.
Calories.
Sweaty.
Drink.
Yes. How's that right? Keys down the drain. Keys down the drain.
Don't drop your keys in the drain.
Wow. That's it.
Was it keys in the
Yes.
drain? Okay.
Yes.
Just got done with yoga. It's about time to go home. Drop your keys into a drain hole. No, don't do that. Now we gotta fish them out. We gotta.
Good thing we got an Eagle Scout.
We got an Eagle Scout on the lookout. Got a broom and a mop and some duct tape. Namaste, namaste all day. Namaste, namaste all day, all night. You wanna bet? No. You wanna break a sweat? It's hot, so hot. How hot? 105 degrees. Yeah.
Everywhere. Where we're at, there's no cool spot on the floor.
No cool spot. No cool spot
On that Fuji mat. That clean Fuji mat. Heated green. 105 degrees. Man, Again, this was a blast getting to hang out with Daniel and Emmalee of Power Yoga and Movement. Make sure you follow them on Instagram, Facebook. Go visit them on Hardy Street, 4400 Hardy Street, Suite A16, in between Signs First and Play It Again Sports, right by Winn-Dixie. So you can go sweat, then you can go get like some kombucha from Winn-Dixie. When you walk right in there, you got that kombucha on the right, past the vegetables. Live your life. You don't have to be competitive with yoga. You could just like kind of come exist and be happy and just enjoy your life. Life's too short to like not have cool experiences, you know? And don't drop your keys down a drain.
Yeah.
That's just a general rule. I mean,
Please refrain
but
from dropping your keys in the drain. Please refrain.
But if you do drop your keys down any drain, Daniel will fish them out for you. So that's also cool too. So that's awesome, man. Y'all are great. Appreciate having y'all.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Dude, that was on